Alright gang, welcome back to our one-tile challenge here on Calm Lands. It is now April, and hail's in the forecast, unfortunately, but today's a big day. We are going to be selling the crawfish. Now, probably what I could do is actually go up to the shop and modify our trailer here a bit, so then we can actually put these in the trailer and wouldn't have to make as many trips, but I think for the time being, we're just going to take them two at a time. I don't think it's going to take us too long to do so. And today we will probably be putting in one of the other productions I've been hinting about for a while. We just weren't, we really didn't have enough time and and money, more specifically, in the last few episodes to do so. I'm going to go ahead and flood that just for the crawfish, make sure they've got enough water down there. But today should be a day that we're going to do so. Today is really the best time to sell crawfish. It is still going up, but I'm not too concerned. It's not going to go up too much more. We're just going to go ahead and sell it outright right now. So that way we have the ability to put in the other production that I've been teasing for multiple episodes, right? We want to get that done today. We're going to put it probably over here. If it's not over here, it will be up at the top corner back there on our grass section. Speaking of the grass section, part of that is ready to mow today. We are not going to mow the entirety of it, but I will show you what I mean here soon enough. And, yeah, that's pretty much the main things we have to do today. We're going to put down the new production. We're going to mow part of the grass. As you can see, the grass are at two different stages here. We are going to mow the stage over there to the left that has a little bit more grass to it. And that grass is not going to be mowed entirely. And what I mean by that is there's about, I don't know, right around in here probably. We're going to just make an imaginary line that goes straight the way that the camera's looking at, up that way. And then leave the rest of this for this grass over here, so we can kind of split the grass into two little sections that we're going to be mowing. Similar to what we did with the bigger portion of the grass field, but it has now obviously become much smaller because we made another crop field, specifically an oat field, right? How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. Been a rough couple of days for me. Work's been brutal. I feel like I've said that a lot lately, but it's just the truth. Trying to get a new project up and running at work and just running into a lot of issues, and the timelines are being pushed, so obviously it's pretty hectic, right? Client's not happy. I'm not really happy, right? A lot of stress. And so because of that, I've been having a little issues with getting some videos edited, so I apologize for that. There's supposed to be a different video that came out today instead of this one. But there's been some issues with the editing. It's not working as I had expected or I wanted. But that's okay. We'll get it sorted out. It'll probably be tomorrow's episode. If it's not tomorrow's episode, it'll be the next one. Who knows? But it'll be out soon enough. Not a big deal. This one doesn't take... well, how was I going to put it? How I was going to put it was probably not the correct way. I was going to say it doesn't take as much effort, but I guess that is the way to say it, right? The one I had planned to put out today was the one about the family farm, which does take a little bit more editing than this one does. Not that this one doesn't have editing to it. It absolutely does, but it's just more of a... How am I going to put it? How I'm going to put it's probably not the way that really I want it to come off. I was going to say this one has more of a... Why am I not picking that up? I literally went right underneath it. Why did that not pick that up? This one has more traditional editing, and what I mean by that is it's stuff that I've edited the same way that I've been editing for years and years and years, so it's not as new for me to figure out what I'm doing, I guess is how I'll put it. I still don't think that really makes sense, and I don't think this is going to stay. And I think we might have even a bigger issue now. Come on. Come on. There we go. So we'll see. I've also been working slightly on that series. I'm going to have a bit of a different type of an intro. I don't necessarily know if it's going to be liked by everyone, but I'm going to try it out anyway. I've been trying to better myself with my editing techniques. So I'm going to try something different for that series at the beginning. Instead of the normal intro, the typical intro that you see, it's going to have a bit of a different one. More of like a chapter base, because it's kind of a mini story that we're telling, right? So we'll see how it goes. If it's not liked, I can always revert back. Not a big deal. All right, this should be the last one here. We're already at 61 grand, which is fantastic for multiple reasons. That's a good amount of money we're going to be making. This should get us closer to 65, probably a little bit over that. Which is more than enough to do the 2 productions that I've been teasing. The one you're already aware of, right? The one is the road salt production. The other one, let's see if we can make it work or not. Now, the decision's going to have to be made right now as if we're going to put it over here in this section, or if we're going to put it up here on the top right corner where it's a little bit flat up there with the grass field. If we're going to put it up there, ideally we need to mow that grass first before we put it down. We don't really want to waste the potential profit of that grass up there. A couple other things that have spawned. We do have 2 pallets of the fine salt now. As we know, the fine salt really is not a good time to sell right now, so we're probably not going to be selling that today. But nonetheless, they have spawned. Where's it at? Here it is. Yeah, so we're kind of going up. It's not terrible. It's really not terribly priced at all. But unless we need it, we might as well hold on to it and get the best price out of it, right? So that's that. So let me go off camera for a minute and let me see if I can figure out where we're going to put this production at. Okay, so the one I was originally going to go with is not working for some reason. The one I've been teasing that I didn't tell you what it was. You knew about the road salt one. So we're going to go with the road salt one for now. Maybe somebody in the comments can let me know. I will show you what it was. So it was the coal mine shaft, which I was pretty excited to put down. I thought it would work out really well either up here in this vicinity. Wouldn't take up a whole lot of space that we have as far as the grass goes. And then, potentially we could put it over here as well, right? Be kind of an awkward spot, I think. I was thinking something like this to be awkward with the house there. But again, that house is probably temporary anyway, right? So, I don't know. Either way, though, I put it down. I tried it. I tested it out, not on this map, obviously, and I just loaded up another one just whenever I want to run a test on something I'm not familiar with, like this. And, it, for whatever reason, was not spawning coal. And so I tried to look up online and see if I could find anything about it, and it said you just have to make sure you have the extended miscellaneous items, the different products installed, and I do. There's clearly right there's charcoal, but nothing was populating out of it. And for that matter, I don't know if it normally does, but nothing was popping in the production list here either for that. So very, very weird. I don't really know what the problem is there. Perhaps somebody in the comments has had that issue and knows what the problem is, or maybe can help me fix it. But nonetheless, it is not going to work, at least for the time being. Perhaps in the future here, we'll be able to put it down on the map somewhere. But for now, it will not. But we are going to put down this road salt production. Now, I do know for a fact that the road salt requires something else. And the one thing I'm concerned about is if we can buy it anywhere. So I believe it requires... it's like a road salt additive of some sort. I just don't know if there's anywhere for us to buy it on the map, or if I need to put down something else. I mean, it says you can buy it at the farmer's market, right? Well, that's selling. There's nowhere for you to buy road salt additive. So where do I get the road salt additive from? Maybe there's something I'm missing. A buying point of some sort that I'm missing for the road salt additive. Is there something in the production list, if I can get to the right thing here, that I'm just potentially missing? I mean, I don't think it would be under sell point, but maybe it's under sell point? I wouldn't think so. I mean, it doesn't really make sense to be under sell point, but I figured I would look anyway. It's not under any of those. Is it under maybe a generator? No. So unless it's under factory somewhere and I'm missing it, I'm clearly missing something we need to buy the road salt additive. I don't want to replace this down and then not have the additive to be able to put into it, right? That would just be a waste of money across the board here, and that's not really what we're looking for, right? How do I get the road salt additive? I'm not really seeing it anywhere. Let me see if I can figure out where I'm supposed to go to get this road salt additive. Maybe it's under containers? Liquid storage, buying station. Here we go. Here we go. It might be in one of these. I mean, this is just a basic multi-fruit buying station, but if I see road salt additive in there, then we're good. I guess any buying container might have it. Is that road salt? No, that doesn't look right. That just looks like regular road salt. It doesn't have the additive, though. Where do I get the additive from? This is just the same thing we were just looking at. I don't think it's in here either, so I must be missing a download or an install of some sort, a mod of some sort, for the road salt additive. Buy pallets directly at your farm yard. Well, I don't want them to be free. That doesn't really seem right. Farm pallet shop. I mean, maybe that's how I have to do it. Maybe I just have to put one of those down. It's a little unrealistic. It's not really the way I was wanting to go about it. You're seeing all kinds of other stuff in here that I was potentially maybe going to add. Let me go out and figure it out. Let me see if I can figure out what we're supposed to be putting to get the road salt additive. Okay, well, I'm dumb, and I'm sure everybody was already yelling at me in the comments, but I did find it. So I looked in the pallet section earlier, and I couldn't find it, so that's why I was like, well, maybe I need to go find a location to buy it in, because that's what I just assumed. I assumed it was going to be in here with the pallet area, and if it wasn't in there, I assumed it would be in the pallet tank, and it wasn't, so I was too stupid to go in here and check that it's literally right here in the big bag pallets, or you can do these big bag pallets too. So... yeah, there it is. So that's literally all you have to do, which, that's fine. That's road salt, at least the salt additive is right here. I didn't even select the right one. The road salt additive is right here. So we are good, right? We're good. There's no road salt additive in this section, which is probably another reason why I didn't see it. It's literally right here in the pallets, though, the big bag pallets. So we're good. We can go ahead and put this down now. We don't have anything to worry about. I've also decided I'm going to change where we're going to put it. Clearly, I've got the equipment all up here. I was still going to put it up here, but I still think I like that spot for the coal, for the charcoal and the coal area, I guess. So we will work on that and see if we can make sure we get that set up properly. So I'll leave this area for that. And I'm not actually going to put it over here either. I kind of had a brainwave on it and what I'm going to do over here. We're not going to do it today, but what we're going to do over here. I think we're going to have enough room to put the road salt production literally right here. I really do. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to place it there, whether it's the right answer or the wrong answer. That's what we're going to do. I've kind of made my decision, so we're going to stick with it. Here it is, 50 grand. So I kind of want to give myself a little bit of space because I do know that this is going to cause a little bit of mayhem here in the fashion of you know, changing the ground around us, right? It's going to cause a little bit of land manipulation here. But we should be able to work around it, hopefully. Let's go with it there. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we obviously sunk the ground in here a little bit, but it didn't really remove too much of this grass field, which is kind of what I was wanting to make sure we stuck with for at least for the time being. Because really, that's our moneymaker right now, right? We don't really make any money elsewhere. At least not majorly yet. We will soon enough, but not quite there yet. So the grass is really what we need. So I think if I do this, I should be able to... Actually, you know what? I might have to expand this out a little bit here. I do something like this and then just try to soften up the edges here so then that way it's not as severe. It probably will help us. There's still a bit of an incline there, but it's not terrible. If I can flatten this side out, which I might not be able to do, I probably... maybe I should have tested this a little more than I did. I don't know. But I think we'll be okay here. Oh, yeah, we can flatten that out. Okay, we're good, we're good, we're good. This will work out. Now, we have to spend a lot of money doing this and that, but that's all right, right? It's not that big of a deal to me. I'm okay to waste a little bit of it. Smoothing this out. I don't think I can open up that garage door there. That'd be kind of sweet if I could, but I don't think we can open that up. So based off of that, I think we're okay here. It's not going to be too bad on the grass since I was able to smooth this out back here. And I can obviously touch up all of this, right, with some different gravel and cement or whatever else we want to do to try to make this look a little bit better. So since I kind of changed my mind as well on where we were going to put this, I'm glad I didn't actually spend the money on painting all this area to make it look like that yet, because obviously we just took up some of that space. Okay, good. So this should work. We've got a little bit of rough edges here we can try to fix. I can do a lot of that off camera more than likely. But it should be alright. Yeah, this should work. So if we go into here, we can go ahead and turn it on. It needs coarse salt, and then road salt additive, and then it needs water, which we have all of those. Now would be a time where it might be smart for us to actually consider adding in that other production we talked about a couple episodes back, where it automatically distributes water to the productions. Now that we have 2 legitimate productions that require water, might be smart for us to go that approach, but really it's not that big of a deal for us to pick up the water from here and bring it over to here, right? It's not that big of a deal. Now, as far as how this actual production works, my understanding, let me actually turn this off now because I don't really need these on anymore. My understanding is we put the coarse salt into here, where you would kind of expect, and then over here, there's a bit of a drop, I don't know what you would call that. I guess it's kind of like a trough, really, of the salt that we'll dump out here. Now, I don't know if it just stores it in here and we pull the trailer underneath it and hit the button and it'll drop into it. That's what I hope. But the pictures made it seem like it just automatically drops it out on the ground. Which, if that's the case, I mean, it's not the most ideal situation, but that's fine. We can, use the bucket that we haven't sold yet, luckily, to pick it up off the ground, I guess. And really, I guess when the time comes and we're not really doing anything as far as harvests go, we could always just keep the trailer underneath here and it'll automatically dump it into the trailer, I guess, until it's full. I guess it just depends on how fast this goes. I don't think it goes that fast. But I could be wrong. I mean, 1,200 cycles per month. Never mind, I might be wrong. It might be. That might cruise through there pretty quickly. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and get started here. Getting everything we need to put into here. Now, it's going to be a bit, right? The road salt additives are going to take a couple of trips. We literally do not have a ton of coarse salt in there. I don't know what I'm doing here. I need to get the trailer. We do not have a ton of coarse salt to put in here yet, I think, because we sold a bunch of it recently. I think we only have about 2,000 liters of coarse salt, so we're not going to be making that much to begin with anyway. But I'm pretty happy with that, gang. Well, evidently I didn't even hit the button. Come on, Z, get it together, buddy. There we go. I'm pretty happy with that. There is a little bit more space here than I probably wanted, honestly. But we could obviously put something between here, right? We can store something in between that. It's not that big of a deal. The bees are going. You can see them. So we fixed that issue, right? They literally go dormant in FS25. So that's good. They're back. They're making us honey. So let's see. This should just work. We should just be able to just pull up here. Yep, perfect. Dump the coarse salt into there. So 2511 of coarse salt. 2,511. It holds 60,000 liters of coarse salt. That's a lot of coarse salt. Okay, good. Well, that's step one. Step two, then, is for us to go and get a pallet or two, I guess, of the road salt additive. Really, we probably want to get a couple. They weren't that expensive. Yeah, $350. That's not very expensive at all. I'm just going to stick with two for right now. Just because I don't think, unless we modify the back of the trailer here, I don't think we're going to be able to bring more than two back. It probably is going to be too heavy. And since we only have 2,000 liters of, well, 2,500 liters of coarse salt anyway, we probably aren't going to need more than what we got of the road additive for the time being. So I'm going to go pick these up. I'll meet you back here, and then we'll get the water tank, and we'll start adding some water there. So that way we can actually start producing something there and making ourselves a little bit of money. We need to fix up the tractor here. It is dirty. The paint's coming off. I guess the paint's not too big of a deal, but man, we need to clean this thing cleaned, man. It's in rough shape, man. But we've been utilizing it a lot. 18 and a half hours on it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, it says it's accepting it. Maybe I have to pick them up. I must have to pick them up. I must not just be able to drop them. I must have to actually lift them up and put it... Yep, that's what I have to do. That's fine. Not that big of a deal. Alright, that should be plenty of road salt, I would think. It's only taking 1 road salt per 8 coarse salt, so, I mean, that's more than plenty for the time being. So let me go put some of this stuff away here. We'll grab the water tank and get some water transferred over to here, and then we can start working on the grass field a little bit, because that's the last remaining thing we have to do. Now, the grass field. The next thing I would like to do is upgrade our baler. I would like to either get a loading wagon, forage wagon of some sort, or maybe a square baler. I don't know. I would like to make that upgrade. We don't really have the money for it right now. We've only got 13 grand now. Granted, we have a couple of things we could sell to potentially get there, but we don't have it right now. Now, a couple other notes to bring up that people brought up that I thought was actually a really good idea, and for whatever reason, it may seem like it's a very simple thing that I should have thought of, but I didn't really think about it. So, I was talking about Grandma's House, right? Grandma's House is a small little production that, or Grandma's Knitwear, I guess is what it's called. I always call it Grandma's House. It's a small production, right? Small little knitwear production, and it's a little OP, right? But somebody was saying, well, why don't you do kind of what you're doing a little bit to the extent with the silage pole, although the silage pole isn't really overpowered in my opinion, and just, you know, add something in there, only add a limited amount in there per episode, right? Maybe 1 pallet per episode or something like that, where it can force yourself to limit how fast it's actually producing the clothes. And I think that's a really good idea. I think that's something we probably will incorporate if nothing else comes out by the time we decide to start doing the clothes. Really, we probably should do them today, but we're not going to do that. Perhaps in the next episode, we might incorporate that or something to that effect. I do think it's a good idea, and I think as long as you regulate it, it's not as bad to utilize some of these overpowered things. I just don't want to literally put 4 or 5 pallets of wool in there, and then it's got a whole pallet of clothes ready for me in the next month. You know, that just doesn't seem that realistic to me. That's really, really overpowered, right? It means if I just continue to put down a bunch of sheep, I mean, we could get hundreds of thousands of dollars in you know, 6 months, right? So, not really the approach I'm going to go with, if that makes sense. Alright, now I shouldn't need much more water than this. I'm going to go ahead and top off everything else while we're at it. Yeah, it's pretty much full, so... but I just want to fill it all the way up to max the water, at least. That way we don't have to worry about it for a while. Alright, good, it's full. Let's go top off the sheep. They are still doing good on grass. They still have those initial 3 bales still. The chickens, we might want to check on them. I think they probably have enough food, because they don't really eat a whole lot. But we should probably just take a look at them. Yeah, they're fine. They've got plenty of food in there still. Yeah, the sheep are doing good. They still had water, but they were running a little bit lower, so... Or a little bit low, I guess I should say. So it's good that we're going ahead and topping them off today. Alright, they are done. And then it's just a matter of the salt production here. Which I believe still has enough water in it. It's not too big of a concern for us. Yeah, they still have plenty of water in there. Now, really, what we probably should consider doing here soon-ish, maybe next month when we spawn a flower of salt, we might want to consider upgrading our salt production. Put down the bigger one, right? We've got the medium-sized one, but maybe we put down the bigger one. Now that we have the production for the salt, for the coarse salt at least, right? Might be smart for us to do that. They don't need much more. This should be it here. Okay, good. So, now that we've got all that done, I'm going to go ahead and grab this, and I'm going to put it underneath just to see. I mean, it probably hasn't created a whole lot of road salt yet. 154 liters. Nothing has spawned out yet. So that makes me believe that maybe it is just a matter of you clicking the button. And I say clicking the button, I'm talking, you know, you hit the button for it to actually unload stuff. I don't know, though. Yep, that's all it is. Okay, so then we're good then. You don't have to necessarily worry about it. I saw some picture when I downloaded the mod where it had like a belt system and it was picking up the road salt off the ground and everything like that. So I was like, oh, we might have to get a whole contraption set up. But knowing that, we don't necessarily have to do that. I actually kind of like the idea of getting you know, a conveyor belt and having that move it around for us. But for the time being, that's obviously not going to happen. So what we're probably going to do once we mow some of this grass is we're going to take away a little bit of this field, just to give it a little bit more space, because obviously, you know, the stuff we were kind of sitting outside has now been, has the area that we were holding it in at least has been removed, right? We don't have that room for it anymore. So we'll probably take a little bit of it away, but that's something we can also work on probably in the next episode too, right? I think I should be able to squeeze this through here, and this can be its spot. Yeah, that'll work well. I'll leave that there. Got to do a couple other minor things here. Get the plow out of the way and get that wrap out of the way. Now, one thing we have not looked at yet, we always like to look at it, but we haven't done it yet, is to see what's out there in the used market. Probably not anything special, but, you know, maybe worth us taking a look at it. Let me just move this out of the way. I don't really know where to put this at. I guess I'll put it over here for the time being, because our baler's in here anyway. We probably want to utilize all of this round bale net before we upgrade, or change out, I guess I should say. Maybe it's not necessarily an upgrade, but change out the baler for something else, right? For a forage wagon, loading wagon, whatever. So really, the way that I'm imagining is taking this right here and just make an imaginary line going straight down that way, and we will mow everything to the left of that. What do you think about the road salt production? I'm happy with it. Wasn't exactly the plan that I initially thought we were going to do today. Like I said, I thought we were going to do the coal plant, but I've got to see what I've got wrong there. Maybe I have something installed incorrectly. Maybe I don't have the right extra what would you call them? I guess resources. I guess the extra resource. You know, maybe I don't have the right one installed. I don't know. There's a couple of things that could be going wrong there. I'll have to look into it a little bit closer. We'll figure it out. We're underway. Should still produce a decent amount of bales here. We're probably not doing the straightest line here. Actually, it's not too bad, actually. Now that I said that, it's not too bad. Anyway. As we normally do, we'll go around kind of a bit of a headland here. And then we'll get started with the rest of it. So, shouldn't take us too long since this is a much smaller field. I just got to be careful that I slow down here so I don't run into our field and kill any of that crop. We're going to try to get a little bit of this extra stuff too, like we did last time, where we kind of go over here in this area that eventually we said was going to make some kind of a track going down, but we've yet to do that. So, let's get started here. Okay, we are all done here, gang. Everything's picked up, and the hail has clearly started. Bit of a longer time lapse there, but we got everything done, which is really what we wanted to accomplish today. Now, we do have those bales sitting out there, and really we would probably want to put those into the actual pole right now, but I'm not going to do that. We're going to hold off on doing that until the next episode. We're also probably going to mow that other grass field in the next episode because it will be long enough to be able to be mowed at that point. So we'll leave all that for the next episode. We're going to leave this one here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd greatly appreciate it if you smash the like and the subscribe button for me. Doing both of those things are free, and it helps me out an absolute ton. Thoughts, questions, comments, ideas, you know the drill. Let me know down below. We've got another production on the farm, and I'm pretty happy with where it is. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.